I am Kat, and
I'm Candy.
this is a Candi and Kat chat with our special guest, the birthday girl, Aunt Sharon. So we're going to do a couple of our questions. You guys are familiar with this when we do our Candi and Kat chats, and we just like open up and have questions, and we don't know what the questions are, and we don't know what the answers are going to be. So let's have some fun. Y'all ready, ladies?
We're ready.
Yes.
Okay. So, Aunt Sharon, it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. So, first question will be yours.
Yes.
You still ain't gonna tell them how old you are? We
No,
are
I'm not.
two decades and a chain.
No, we're a few scores and a couple of whatever.
A few scores and
And a couple of whatevers.
Okay.
Ooh, a couple of
Few
forevers.
scores.
Ain't that a song?
Few scores and
A
10.
couple of forevers.
Few scores.
Few
and
scores and 10.
And
Okay.
10. If y'all know what that is,
Please
y'all
write
hit
us.
up.
Please
She
I
said we
said,
said
I didn't say
No.
more scores. I said a few scores.
A few scores.
Few is
And
3,
10.
right?
Yes.
A few. Yeah.
Okay, I still don't know. Go
Good
ahead.
scores. So that's a good question. Ooh, I just kind of glanced at it. What has your ego kept you from doing or becoming?
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's
that's
kind of nice.
Well, that's a good one to start off with.
Okay.
What has your ego?
Well, number one, ego to me is the same as pride.
Yes.
Okay.
Me, I agree.
You cannot.
I don't agree, but go ahead.
You've got to set. There's a difference between ego and pride, and ego can mean. Oh, this is what I want to do. This is what I need to do. This is what I want to accomplish. You know, this is my ego. This is where I'm going forward. Then on the flip side of that, ego can be the pride. And if you put pride first, you're not going to succeed.
And that's why
And
sometimes your ego can get in the
and
way.
sometimes the ego can come right back around that corner and get into the way. So ego can be a twofold.
What was the
Yeah.
question? I forgot
So
what
what?
the question.
So what has
No,
your
it's okay.
ego-
What is the question?
So
again?
the ego.
'Cause
So
I
that,
thought I was gonna answer, but I don't know.
Okay.
no, because she's giving you.
I know, but what is
So
it again?
what has your ego kept you from doing or becoming?
Okay,
So your
so that's
ego and
fine.
your pride can
No, that's-
basically, yeah.
right,
that's what
right.
she's-
I just want to make sure.
Okay.
So
And for me, that's why I said I stated earlier. I had to know the difference between ego and pride. So ego has stopped me from what I tried to accomplish in life. That's what my
you gotta
ego.
be more specific and sharing like what exactly. You don't have to tell everything, but what exactly did it stop you from accomplishing? Because we know it can, but
Things that I wanted to accomplish in my work life.
okay.
Over the years that things that I wanted to accomplish on my job
Okay.
and things like that. Little bit of ego kind of stepped in. A little bit of ego kind of stepped into my personal life on what I wanted to do and accomplish, and it made me have to take a step back
That's
to
fair.
go ahead
Okay.
and move forward to what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So I had to knock ego out the way.
Okay.
For me. I can't speak for anybody else.
That
for
works.
Me. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not gonna answer. You wanna answer that?
No, I'm not gonna answer.
So then you will pick your question and you're gonna ask it to me.
Okay. Do I deal the cards or do I shuffle the cards?
Pick whichever
however
one
you
you
want.
want.
Or
You got
You just
5
pick
cards. You
and
pick one.
this is for
For me.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Okay.
you pick one right now. And then you pick.
okay. I let her
She
pick.
likes to put a little razzle
Yeah,
dazzle to
razzle
it.
dazzle
We'll
to
take
it.
it.
What?
Fill in the blank.
Uh-oh.
I love it when people praise me for my blank.
I love it when people praise me for my intelligence.
Ooh,
that they think that I have, or when they praise me for maybe some sound or positive, smart advice that I may have given them in one way. I mean, of course, I am ignorant in a lot of areas, but there are some things that I do know. So, I think I like that because I like helping people. Right?
Good.
I like being of service. I like helping people. So, I like to know that I've done a good job.
Okay,
great.
I like that.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
That's my answer.
Okay.
First, when you said it, I was like, say it again, because I was going to be like, hey, when it said fill in the blanks, I was like, people, I was like, call me Big Pop. Okay.
I was watching Notorious last week, so okay.
Do you ladies want to answer that question?
No.
You want to answer it?
I'm good with it. I think that's an excellent answer. People praise me for, you're right, for, like you said, for my intelligence, for things that I can teach them. Praise me for how I can help you along the way.
Yes.
Okay.
Praise me for the experiences that I have gone through, and they've heard about my experiences and whatever experience that they're going through, how it can help them.
Yeah.
So how you can help, like you said, how you can help somebody else. Because
help me help you.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. Help me help you. End of story.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You ready, Kat?
Okay.
And she let you pick.
Ooh.
Oh, Lord.
Great question.
Oh, gosh.
What part of yourself did you lose in your last relationship? I think I'm going to answer. This one might take us a minute because I think I'm going to answer that one. This one is triggering for me.
What part of
yourself did you lose in your last relationship?
In my last relationship?
Mm-hmm.
My opinion. My opinion. I felt like the last relationship I was in, I lost my opinion. Where I would have spoke up more, I was very passive.
You lost your voice in a sense.
I lost my voice.
You lost your voice.
I lost my voice.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't.
Good point.
I wanted to give that person, that relationship made me feel like I need to lower who I was. Like, I couldn't be me.
Exactly.
Because that person made me feel like that my personality was bigger than theirs, and that I had to become the person to lower my voice and say, I'm gonna take a stand back. So I'm
Step back.
I'm gonna let you shine in this moment.
Yes,
I'm not gonna let, even though I feel like my personality is such a bubbly and my cousin just told me this the other day. She told me I'm a light.
You are light.
And in the last relationship, I let someone dim my light. I allowed my light to be dimmed.
You allowed your light to be dimmed. So let me use the right word.
Correct word. Yes. I allowed my light to be dimmed to let that person shine more.
Yes.
Or feel like they were shining more.
Yes.
And they probably weren't.
Exactly.
But I pushed back. I stood back and I said, you know what? I know that my light tends to blare a little bit louder. So let me take the step back. And what I found out with that is, that's bullshit. If your light don't shine, it ain't my fault. It ain't my fault.
That's right.
That's what I had to learn from that, is that I need to be me. I can't let nobody put me down and say, let me cover your light, because my light ain't like yours.
Right, exactly.
And I didn't. And I've allowed that a lot of times in relationships, but that's what it was.
And it's not just women, it happens with women as a whole.
All the time.
They will step back and let the male, quote unquote, light shine. It happened to me as old as I was. And I know that there were things that I should have done And I look back over my life and say, oh God, Sharon, you should have did this, you should have did that. But I didn't. But then, and I don't believe, I'm not whole.
I don't want to cut you off. I want you to keep going. But because you mentioned even at your age, one of the things I want to mention is, if you don't mind saying the age you was, because part of us doing this is that we want people to know that no matter how old we get, right, we're still able to correct the wrong. We're still able to, make mistakes and fix it and correct it and be the person that we were always meant to be. So, I used to think that at 30s I wouldn't be going through the things I was going through at my 40s, but I was wrong. Mm-hmm. So I just, if you don't mind, you don't have to, but just so people can understand that even at 30, even at 40, even at 50, we don't know it all. We make mistakes, but we can still bounce back from it.
And you still can, even at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, even 80.
Ooh, 80.
You can.
You going through it at 80. We gonna talk all day. I'm gonna pull you to the side at that point.
But that might be.
But it's true. It could be. But
right. You could. The 80 is the new 70. 70 is the new 60. And blah 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 blah. And in today's era versus when our grandparents or parents were coming up or whatever, but and I'm not going to say black women. I'm not going to put a stigma on there. I'm going to say women.
Okay.
Will allow the male to be. We look at the males. Okay, you're head of household. You're this. You're that, or whatever. We step back and we let you do this, but all the time we're kind of like,
Do you believe in that, considering you came because you came from an era where your father he set the example. He was the head of the household.
He was the head of the household.
He paid the bills. He did all that. So do you still believe in that type of hierarchies today? Even being raised that way?
I don't. Because today's culture has changed.
Okay.
You have more women working in the household. You got two parents that are working in the household or whatever, bringing in the salary.
Or you have a woman that may make more than that man.
And the woman might make more than that man. Okay. And that's another thing that society has to deal with. And the male has a problem with it. They say, okay, I'll be a stay-at-home husband. Yeah, wah. But no, do you really mean you're going to be a stay-at-home husband?
They don't mean that.
While the wife is out there, and not saying she doesn't want to, because this is what she wants to do. Mm-hmm. But can the male accept it? No. You say you're gonna, I'll be at the stay-at-home husband. Yeah, my wife is working. She make all this, but no. Deep down inside, can you really accept it? And that's not true.
My ex-husband, I remember one time we went to dinner, and he said, "You're embarrassing me, because when it was time to pay the bill, I put up the money."
Yes.
He said, "You're embarrassing me." How am I embarrassing you? I had the money. Mm-hmm. He said, "You're supposed to. You get to dinner and you belittle me because you're going in your wallet."
Oh my!
So his fix for this was, before we leave, you need to give me the money so I look like the man.
Ah, okay.
So then when we did that, though, you look like the man.
I don't have my pearls on today. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got the pearls. You look like the man paying the bill. However, the chick that you cheated on me with, she think you the money maker, when I done painted this life.
Yes, exactly.
So now we're in a whole different, but it's like the man ego.
Yes.
Some men ego. Yeah. Their ego gets in the way of, now you want me to give you the money, that you don't make the money, but you want me to give you the money before we leave the house to go to the dinner party because you want to look like you made this money. But in actuality, I still made the money.
You still made the money. And when somebody else is looking at it, oh, wow, my man is doing
they're like, he's dishing out. Like, girl, that was my money.
You don't know the real story. And that's
before we left the building, the house, I gave him the money.
Exactly.
So you got my money, not his money.
Exactly. and if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have this and that. But I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, and that's a whole different. That's
another
whole
segment.
different. We got
That's
to
a
bring
whole nother round of drinks. Okay, whole nother round of drinks. For everybody, including the producer man, because he got to sit through all of this. Women cackle about this. I'm answering this question.
That my ex, you know, I learned. He was not, but I learned, and I you know, and I'll just say that he thought the grass was greener on the other side.
Tell him how brown it was.
Right now it's a little green, but I think from what I hear, it's turning a little brown. But
you might need a little water in.
Joking.
But I'm going to throw my Christianity into it. Yeah, I've had some margaritas. This is my birthday or whatever. I've had that.
No judgment.
And no judgment, because the Lord did say, have a good time. In moderation.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen. Hallelujah.
So it's in moderation. So what I'm going to say is, you can, you know, it's if that's what he chose to do, that's what he chose to do. But I learned along the way, and I will not make that mistake
again. That's what counts.
Again. And and it's really hard if you go out to date and. I know I'm getting on a different segment here, ladies. But you go into, this ego thing, and you go and you start dating somebody else. You can't judge them. Like I met a person, and so I come to find out, I says, and I says, when's your birthday? Because they wish me happy birthday, and I said, when's your birthday? And they said August. And the first thing I said. Another dang Leo.
Ooh, I know that's how we do.
But my pastor had preached on the subject, and not about Leos, but about relationships. You can't, just because you were in a bad relationship and that was that person's sign. Yes. You can't ban everyone because that's
so I need to start banning them cancers.
I'm a Cancer.
No, it's the male cancer.
Well,
not the women cancer. I have a lot of women cancer friends, and they're different. The men cancers, I have like the.
My daddy was a Cancer. Her granddaddy was a Cancer. But it's okay. But that was a different era. But anyway, I just want to say, you just
maybe
can't.
It's the month too. Time frame.
Because one of them is closer to this one than the other.
Right. Yeah. You just can't judge. Don't. And it's just like looking at a person on just how you see that person on the outside. You don't know what they are on the inside.
Oh yeah. And
you've got to learn that. And so that's something I'm working on. I'm sorry, Candace.
That's okay. No, this is what we're doing. This is exactly what it's for.
And this is what, even as old as I am, this is something, all this look good on the outside. But you don't know what's going on in here.
Yeah, all that looks good on the outside.
And if it's not right in here,
this
on the outside does not do me any good.
No.
It does not do me any good whatsoever. It's what's on the inside. It's what's in your heart.
Yes.
And it's what you project, and it's what you present. And if I can't go to dinner with an individual, like I'll give a quick example. I don't want to go on a dinner date with somebody, and they sitting up there.
I want you to go Dutch?
Well, no, not that. No, we ain't doing that. That's off the count. That ain't happening. But it's sit up there.
Even our coffee.
I don't want you up there on your phone.
Oh.
If you're gonna invite me out somewhere, our attention is gonna be on one another.
But nowadays it be on the phone.
No. You put that phone on
That's why we go to Dutch coffee.
Or you put that phone on silent. I do not want to sit up with an individual across the table and you up there on your phone. If that's the case, then take your phone out to dinner. Don't invite your phone out to dinner. Don't
take
invite
your phone out to dinner.
You heard it here first.
Don't invite.
Take your phone out to dinner.
Yeah,
Don't take me.
Because
Take
that's
your
it.
phone.
Let her
To
pay
me,
the bill.
It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful because you cannot be that important to where you got to be on your. Oh, my homeboy's calling me. Oh, so and so's got. Oh, my.
Ain't nobody that
whatever.
important.
It's not that important unless there's a die emergency. Then maybe you shouldn't have invited me out.
Oh.
Maybe you should not have invited me out.
But
I do not want to sit up at lunch or dinner or breakfast.
You make me want to put my phone away right now.
And somebody is on their phone. I'm sorry. I don't buy that.
I ain't doing that when
I don't want to do that. And I don't want to, and like I said, we were talking about Leos and Cancers or whatever. Just because you had a bad relationship with that individual, that's past history. You don't know me. You're getting to know me. Okay, so I am the same sign as your ex or whatever. Or you might be the same sign as my ex, But you've learned from your exes one way or another.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what to look out for. You know the signs or whatever. And if you see those signs, then okay, no, I'm not going to give this Cancerian another chance, or I'm not going to give this Leo or Virgo or whatever. No. So that's it. It's happenstance. It's life. And it's learning to know about the individual. But I'd still say the cell phone is the most rudest thing that one can do during a dinner date.
I agree.
A dinner date, lunch date, or breakfast date. If you're trying to not so much as have a relationship with this person, but get to know them. Get to know them. Or even you can be with your girlfriends.
You ain't supposed to be like that with your girlfriend either.
No, you shouldn't. The self, no, not unless your child is sick and somebody's gonna be calling or whatever. But I did hook up with you because we did need to get together for lunch or dinner or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I've got somebody watching my child, but I am expecting a call. Say that off the top.
Consideration.
Have some respect for the person so that they'll know, okay, well, Kat, Candy's expecting a call or whatever from the doctor or so on and so forth. So you know that, and vice versa. But don't be sitting up there, going. That just worries the foo-foo. That bugs the foo-foo out of me.
I will say that my business partner / friend, she don't treat me that way. Do you, Candy? Okay. She don't be all on her phone. I don't be all on my phone. We do business around here. But she will get me tipsy.
She's still tipsy.
You ain't gonna worry the foo-foo out of me. I ain't gonna let her do it.
That's my thing. Wait. I'm be like, you ain't worrying the foo-foo out of me. Not today.
That's our new word. Okay, so she said, we said first. You coming with him? You on fire today? I didn't even get to answer the question. I'm not going to even answer it.
No, it's my turn.
I didn't get to finish answering the question.
Oh.
You answered
doing it. Yeah. What part did you? I don't even want to answer it. I think you did enough. Let's move on to your question.
Okay.
We good. I know, right? You might as well just put a magnifying glass on. She said, "Can she see it?" Put it to the light.
Ain't gonna worry about
Put it to the light right here.
Wait, I ain't got my glasses.
That's okay. Take your time, honey.
Over the last 5 years, do you
5 years, okay.
Do you think you've become more emotionally open or closed? And why do you think so?
I've become more. Oh, is that for me?
Uh-huh.
I have become more emotionally open than I have in the past, because before I, be quiet, whatever. I wouldn't, unless you really ticked me off and then walk, and then what's coming out. Now what comes up comes out.
Okay.
And so that's what may have been in my job. May it be anywhere. I look at it, if you ask me a question, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
If you don't want to know the truth,
Don't ask.
don't ask. Where before I don't want to say I would sugarcoat it, but I would say, oh, honey, this is okay, but, blah, 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 blah. No, you don't need her. You don't need him. And let me tell you the reasons why. And look at these different signs or whatever, I can't tell you what's right or wrong, but I'm letting you know this, and then you take this and you do whatever you want to do with it. So
That's fair.
or same thing on your job. If somebody's dogging you or whatever, and you've gone and you've approached them and you said, okay, Sadie, I've seen your workflow. Okay, I see that you're having problems. What do you need help with? How can I help you? Or whatever. And if you try approaching this individual, or if you see that individual is doing wrong or whatever, see what you can do for that person. But if you find that you're still struggling with them, then that's when you're going to have a sit-down chat with that person and come out and say, okay, I've done the best I could. Okay, I see, Sadie, this isn't right, that isn't right. I've asked you what is going on with you. If there's a problem in the home, or is there a problem here on the job or whatever, but you continue to do the same old thing. I can't help you unless you talk to me. I just can't. And because what's going to happen, I'm going to wind up writing you up.
You about to get fired.
I'm going to wind up writing you up, and I know your work style. I know this, and I don't want to do this. But if you can't tell me what's going on, may it be private or whatever, or share with me your job is in jeopardy. And it's not just me, it's higher ups that are looking at me on what I'm not doing in my job, in my role as a supervisor, manager, or whatever. There's always somebody else I've got to answer to, So, you've got to help me to help you. And if you can't, then
so be it.
It's just the way it is. I'm not being hard nosed or anything. It's just the way it is.
Okay, that's fair.
That's good.
I think I've become emotionally selective.
Ooh.
Not necessarily open, not necessarily closed. I think I'm kind of like more in the middle because certain situations, certain people cause for certain type of things, right?
Okay.
So I'm just I'm open for the most part, but there's some times where I feel like I need to, you learn how to read people, you know how to read energy and all that other stuff. So I'm selective, but I'm probably more open than I was in the past 5 years, but I'm still selective.
I think I'm more, I agree, more open than what I used to be.
Okay.
I think I'm more closed.
More closed?
Are you really?
Because I've always been open.
Oh, have you?
I've always been like the happy-go-lucky. You can know everything about me, and I put everything on the table. And I think I've learned through experiences, like me being so nice has hurt me more than being not. So when now I'm selective, like I'm learning to put my to have my bubble.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're not in Kat's bubble, then now it's like if you're outside of that bubble, I don't let you into what I feel like. Because before it was like I'm an open book. You ask me anything, I can talk to you about anything. I'm your friend. Hey, friend, and now it's more like.
And see, that's another thing. You can't be a friend. It may be a coworker or whatever. You've got to draw that line.
I've learned that.
You've got to draw that
boundaries.
line. Yes, it's boundaries.
No, but Candi really helped define that for me within the last year and a half. And it's been more like I've been that person. Like I have let everybody in, and you're my friend. You're my friend. I'm like Oprah giving away cars. You're my friend. You're a friend. You're a friend. And then I found out that not everybody's your friend.
No, they're not.
And just because I'm so like bubbly and happy, and I'm like, come on, You want love? I got love for you. And those people didn't have love for me.
No, exactly.
So,
they had a knife for you.
Yeah, I had a knife.
They had a knife for you.
Or they had oh, you were there for me? Oh, I ain't got time for you. So I've learned that, and they're growing pains.
Yes.
It hurt. Like,
yes.
When you're that person that would give your all to someone and be there, and you're the one who picks up at 3 a.m, and then when you need that same kind of love and attention, and you, not that I'm needing it, but it's like I found out when something happened in my life that I felt like, hey, I need that 3 a.m. phone call to be picked up. Then people were like, voicemail, send you the voicemail.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, or I ain't got time for you. Oh, you got a life? Oh, you got issues? I ain't got time for your issues. So then I started to learn, like, you're really not the friend I am to you.
You're not the friend that I thought you were.
So now I need to protect me more. So now you have to be in my bubble.
And not so much as that, they need to give you the respect.
Yes.
Respect is the first thing that you need to have from an individual, may it be a coworker, a friend, or whatever. You must respect me. If you don't have any respect for me, I can't deal with you. You know,
some people
how can we have a friendship?
They will suck you dry.
Am I your bubble?
You're my bubble.
Okay.
You're my bubble.
Okay.
So then you would be asking me a question, ain't Sharon?
Oh.
How much time we got, producer man? We good? Okay.
See, I put about this.
Oh, she doesn't pick the card. Look at her.
What she makes it so fancy?
I know she's fancy.
So exciting. You add a little zing to it.
Razzle dazzle. We're going to steal that now.
What 3
things
do you need to remind yourself
Ooh.
whenever you feel lost?
Ooh.
What 3 things do you need to remind yourself whenever you feel lost?
Ooh.
So when you feel lost, what 3 things do you need to remind yourself of?
When I feel lost, one of the things I need is my sanity.
Okay.
My peace and my sanity. Is that 2 things? I'm gonna make that into 1.
Okay.
Is it 2? I'm gonna make it on 1.
Well, okay.
The other thing that I need is my past. Because I need to remember everything I've been through and where I come from.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Now that's a good one.
So I need my sanity for 1. I need my past for 2. And I always, in questions like this, having God in your life, I feel should be automatic. I feel like it's a cliche answer to be like, I need God, I need prayer, and all the other stuff. I feel like that's a given. So I always take that part off the table. That's always a given. So outside of that, my peace, my past, and support system. I need a very good, strong
support system.
Support system.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my answer.
I'm not answering that one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna ditto with what Candace said. I totally agree on all 3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Kat. You've answered this one before, but it'll be fun. Let me see if I got another one because we probably won't even get through them.
We'll see. We should.
I actually don't answer it before. Do you remember?
I don't remember the answer.
Stop looking like that.
So, well, because we probably won't even get through. So, what was the last time you were so angry you could barely think? You were so angry you could barely think. I know the last time. I'm not going to even mention it.
I would say that was recently. Oh, I was angry.
What happened? Do you mind sharing? You don't have to, but
no, I do mind. I don't mind sharing. I was lied to.
Oh my God!
By someone. The issue was the person that started the lie.
Okay.
That started me. The situation could have turned very bad.
Okay.
Like it could have turned physical.
Okay.
Because I was lied to and lied on.
Ooh.
So lied to, lied on.
By someone close to you?
By someone close to
Family,
me. That
friend?
I thought that was close to me.
Okay.
And they lied to someone else, and then it prompted a phone call. And like I'm never a punk. That's the thing with me. Is like I'm not a punk. But I don't look for stuff, but I'm not a punk. So when someone tells me, someone's going to call you, I'm like, all right, I'm waiting for the call. And when the call happened, it was more like, it was on 10. And then I had to kind of like, as a person kept talking, I said, where did all this come from? Because then I have to look at the source. Like, okay, why you're calling me on 10, and we can take it there, because I'm not a punk, but why do you even know what you know? So I was able to bring that person down to another level and say, do this even make sense? Because what you're telling me is something you shouldn't even know. But if you want to go there, I'm not a punk. But however, it just came. It brought me back to within the last, I would say, 9 months. I've experienced tremendous loss. I've lost. I've been very blessed, as many will say. I've had all my grandparents. Until 2017, I had all my grandparents. I'm 47 years old. My grandparents have been alive and living in my life.
That's a blessing.
Such a blessing. November of 2022, I lost my grandmother. Then, unexpectedly, I lost my granny on Easter Sunday this year. So, I'm left with one living grandparent of my grandfather. 88 years old, love him to death. So much stuff has happened. So I felt like so much loss. Luckily, I was able to say, hold on. Let me bring it down, because it could really be bad. So when someone comes to me now, I'm at the point in life where, because I've had my grandparents raised me, my granny, who passed away on Easter Sunday this year, raised me from birth.
Okay.
So, I think, I know that now, I look at life totally different. My aspect on people, how I deal with people, how I come into contact with people is totally different. So, negativity to me, or any bad energy, I can't accept it. Because I feel like it can take me over the edge. Like, I feel like sometimes when you experience loss, it's either going to take you to a place where you can understanding, or you're on the verge. And you become a ticking, to me, I'm a ticking time bomb. Yes. Emotionally. Because at any time someone can say something, and you don't know what I've been through, and I can just really flash on you. So anyone I let into my bubble, I have to know you're there for me. Exactly. Because if you're not there for me and your intentions are not good, you could cause something, and you could be a part of something. I could flash on you, somebody else. So I just felt like I was betrayed in a bad way. By someone
at a bad time,
and then they took a situation,
took advantage of
it, and they could have went somewhere totally far out.
Oh my gosh!
And it didn't, luckily, because I was able to be like breathing and like. Candi tells me this all the time. When you hear something, you have to trust. You have to look at the source.
Exactly.
So the source was when I'm having this conversation, I'm like, hold up, how do you know this? So I'm like, where'd you get this from? So then I went back to the source, and I was able to like go to the source and say, you almost caused this, but now we're at a point now where you've lost me. Yes. Because you could have really made a situation between another family member really bad for me and that person, because I'm one of the people. I've calmed down a lot, but I used to have I used to always say my reaction and my tongue.
Tongue can get you in trouble.
Yeah, but my tongue lashing was deadly.
Okay.
Like, it used to be very deadly.
Okay.
Like, when you said something to me, I was a reactor.
You had to
so
come
I'm coming for you.
Oh,
I'm coming for whoever, and I got
right.
you. And for instance, like when this situation happened, it was more venting when I talk about Candy, because I was like, I was whoop 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 whoop, and she was like, I was like, but I didn't say that. That's how I felt.
Okay.
Where versus
before you would have
6 years ago, you would have got the lashing, you would have got the reaction. I always say I'm one of those people that used to react and come for you. Like, I'm not giving up until I get you.
And it didn't have to be physical. It's with the words.
Because I'm going to keep calling.
You can whip a person with the words.
Yes. So I was that person. And I prayed. I went to church. I got baptized. And I just really became this person where I was like, instead of, F you, I'm like, I'm going to let God handle you.
There you go. I ain't got time for this.
I ain't got time for you. But it took me to a moment, but I still didn't react to that person that way. It was more like the frustration. And it's just like, people don't know what you go through on a day-to-day basis. Like, I have a battle every day. But that's between me and God. He helps me through. Like,
through your battle.
Yeah, or my team, my support system. I may cuss at them and say, this is what I wanted to say, but versus what I did say is way better. So that just was a moment in time, and I'm proud of me.
Good. You've come a long way.
I've come a long way. I've had a lot of pain within the last 9 months, especially since April, and I've been like, you know what? It's okay.
And you're better than that.
Yes.
You're better than that. And so you have to look at yourself.
Yes.
And
and that's why you place people. That's why I said I am my bubble is my bubble.
Exactly.
Because everyone can't enter that bubble anymore. Before it was like, come on, you want to come in the bubble? Come on, you want to come? But now it's like, it's my peace.
It's your space and your peace.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yay.
You too can be changed.
You want to do one more question? Let's end. We'll just do one more question. We'll end it on. We'll ask and Sharon one last question, and then we'll wrap it up.
Are you guys asking off a card, or you asking off the top of your head?
Nope, we're gonna ask off the card.
Okay.
What's one habit you wish you had broken years ago? That's a good one, though.
It is a good question, actually.
That is I don't know if that's a habit. I don't know if that's a thing.
What about a vice?
Vice
is not really a habit, but
I was a cigarette smoker for.
You used to smoke cigarettes?
Oh God, back when I
that was a habit, right?
So, but God, I haven't smoked a cigarette in 40 years.
Well, that's
40, 50 years. So that's and I was a Salem smoker. Me and Hootie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know you smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, but that was way back there. But that's what they used. People in the office. That's what they were doing. You had the ashtrays now. Things have changed.
Yeah.
You don't.
I mean, still cigarettes.
So maybe is that a habit you wish you never started? Maybe.
Yeah.
And I'll reverse it. That's something that I wish I never had started. But I quit it at a young age. So that's good. So,
and see, but that
doesn't
but that's
count.
a good thing though, because people can't quit. I mean, it's a lot of cigarettes.
It's right, and they can't quit. I want to talk about trust. Because I used to trust.
Everybody.
That
and trusting everybody too.
I did. I
love her. Come on.
Yeah, and to that bubble. Yeah, and that bubble and stuff. I believe that they was. And I. So that's for me that's a hard question. That's a hard question.
But do you think like when you with trust, is it that is it just something that you're just I trust you because we're supposed to trust people, or
I think it's experience. I think people who have bad experiences with people normally don't trust people, right?
Because don't trust
their
people.
Experiences have been bad. People who normally have went through life with good experience, they have no reason not to trust people because everybody they've been in contact
what's my problem,
with.
Nigga? I ain't had good experiences all the time.
Or it could be trust. I trust for my manager or VP to back me up, in a situation. So it could be trust on your job. You could be trust of a coworker. Whatever. I shared this with you. I didn't expect you to share it with somebody else. So a trust factor. I'm retired now, so but that was the issue for me as trust. And still going forward, it's still hard to trust people. But that you
and do you think that comes from like I know like being a black woman, and I hate to we are black women, and black women sometime in business.
Yeah.
I used to always say this used to be my thing. I never wanted a supervisor or manager who was over me that was older or white. And I said that because I had ran into in my old field, I was a operations manager for transportation.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like every time me coming in as a black woman,
mm-hmm.
when I had a white woman over me as a supervisor,
mm-hmm.
knowing the knowledge I had,
mm-hmm.
and that she probably went to school for it, but I learned it firsthand.
Mm-hmm. On the job. Yeah.
Because in my business, I literally came from, I walked in transportation as a bus driver.
Mm-hmm.
Never knew how to drive a bus. Learned, was the only girl in my class.
Mm-hmm.
Knocked the test out, got my license, drove a bus, became a dispatcher, moved up, lead dispatcher.
You paid your dues.
Paid my dues, operations manager, bam.
Mm-hmm.
Self-taught by other managers,
mm-hmm.
men.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a white woman as a supervisor. She rolled my ass, and she hated my opinion. And I used to be like, I never want a white woman, older woman, to be over me, only because they're looking at you like, I went to school for this, and who are you? Like, I could quote off, like, I knew the union contracts when we go to union meetings, and this woman would say, why do you not want this driver fired? Well, because I read the union contract. Mm-hmm. And that, what I've seen, what happened is not what he should be fired for. Mm-hmm. He shouldn't be fired. Or, I knew how much, off the top, you could put me in a meeting with executives, and they're like, so how much do a bus cost? I knew how much a bus costs. Mm-hmm. I knew I knew what kind of funding the state would give for buses, mm-hmm. but you can I can have a grant for $1 million, and guess what? I can buy buses, but I can't run the routes. So I can have a fleet of buses, and we can spend this $1 million grant, but that grant doesn't cover them to run the system. So now we got 7 buses and no system money. Mm-hmm. And then they would look at me like, well, why do you even remember this? Well, because I studied it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she would look at me and be like, oh, God, who do you think you are? The little black girl.
But you knew.
Who didn't go to college for this?
Exactly.
Because I'm sitting here with an associate degree for criminal justice, but I'm in the transportation world.
Exactly.
And I'm sitting here with like 4 or 5 guys with the transportation manager, mm-hmm. the city manager, and guys.
No boss likes to look bad in front of them. No,
it's the women. Because I will tell you now, I have 4 guys in my life that I've known since I was 25 years old, mm-hmm. that I always put on my resume. We're still friends. We're friends on Facebook, and they are still hierarchies in that world.
Mm-hmm.
And if I say, "Hey, guess what? I'm applying for this job, and I want you guys to back me," they'll give me the best recommendation. But they respect me because I know I know transportation.
Right.
I don't do it anymore, but I know it. Like I can read a union contract. I can tell you like, yeah, that funding's not going to work because this funding needs to be done for this. This is what I can put a business plan together for transit.
Mm-hmm.
But as a Black woman, I've worked for different agencies, and it's like when I work under white women, it's more like, who she thinks she is?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
Who do you think you are, Kat?
Kat, the She Said We Said co-host, who about to be like Oprah and Gail up in here. So one day I ain't even gotta worry about that.
Ooh, I can't wait till she meet Oprah. Good gracious.
Oprah, we coming.
We had a good run. I
Yes.
appreciate the questions. Thank you again, Aunt Sharon, for
You're welcome.
sparing your time with us. We know time is the most precious asset we
Yes.
all have. So thank you guys for even watching
Thank
us
you.
on this episode. She Said We Said. Make sure you check out our webpage. Make sure you check out our YouTube. She Said We Said 7152. What is that? Is that the
That's YouTube.
Is that the YouTube? Okay.
Yeah.
She Said We Said 7152.
Y'all need to check out our TikTok.
Our TikTok, Instagram.
We on TikTok.
We got merch too. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff. We keep talking about the merch. We've been in negotiations, working with it here and there, but expect to see all that stuff coming soon.
And y'all know those pearls we always talk about. We ain't got them on right now, but we clench our
Working on
pearls
our
all the
pearls.
time.
We got so much
She
stuff
said we
coming
said
for you
pearls
guys.
coming soon.
Absolutely.
And also, I know Gail or Oprah watching this. Y'all know I'm coming.
Of course.
I'm coming, Oprah.
They
I'm
ain't got
coming.
nothing better to do than to watch
We
us.
giving away pearls. We might not give away cards yet, but you get some pearls. You get some pearls.
Anything you want to say to the people, Aunt Sharon?
I just want to say to both of you young ladies again, thank you so much for having me. I love this She Said We Said segment. I think it's in its embryo stage. It's in its embryo stage, but it is going to come to full term.
Okay.
So get ready for it. Get ready, be ready, and get ready.
Thank you.
All right.
Y'all hear that?
And God bless you both.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Another episode of She Said We Said under our belt.
Yeah.
I am Kat.
I'm Candy this time.